criteria for success.
Okay, great. What's your answer?
Yes.
What's the criteria for a successful assertion?
You have to answer the prompt, and give an opinion, and you can't use evidence.
Great. What's the prompt?
Does gun laws prevent gun violence?
Okay. Can you read me your assertion?
The U.S. should have stricter gun laws.
Does that state an opinion?
No.
Does it give evidence? Okay, good. It doesn't give evidence, but it doesn't state an opinion, does it? Well, I think it states an opinion. The U.S. should have stricter gun laws. Isn't that an opinion? I could say it shouldn't. That's an opinion. Does it answer the question?
No.
Okay. So what are you going to go back and do right now?
Cross this whole thing out. My frame and my assertion and write it over.
Do you need to cross out your whole assertion?
Yes.
Why?
Because it doesn't answer the question.
What does your assertion do right now? Remember how we talked about assertions and thesis? They have two parts. What's the first part?
Thesis and thesis.
Oh, that's in our introductions, but when we talk about just the thesis, it's a what plus a what?
Opinion.
No, it's the claim.
Oh, and reason.
Great. I'm going to write that. Write down here for you. Claim plus reasons or ways. Right now, what part of an assertion does this have?
Opinion.
Use this language.
Claim.
Great. And so you need to add what to the assertion?
Reason.
So as you continue writing your essay, I want you to first revise this, and then what do you need to be thinking when you get to body paragraph 2 and it's time to write your assertion?
If the assertion meets the criteria for success, and does it have reasoning in it?
Go back to your seat. Come check on you.
Aren't you supposed to write the why in the frame?
The frame is going to elaborate on the key terms. So I want you to write your assertion first and then see if you can elaborate on the key terms in your frame. But you might end up having to combine your frame with your assertion and rewrite your frame. You're right. Okay. So what did I ask you to do to prepare for our conference?
The French answer.
Okay. What was the question that I was asking you to come with an answer to? Yeah, go ahead and read it for me.
Does the frame elaborate on key terms? Is it clear?
And you've already revised, it looks like. So what was your answer to that question?
That I didn't elaborate as much, because how the laws would get stricter and whatever prevent people from doing.
Okay, interesting. I want you to read me your assertion, and then I want you to read me your revised frame.
Gun laws should not be stricter because gun laws do not prevent gun violence. Gun laws should not be stricter because if the laws get harder, it will be harder to get protection for yourself.
I want you to circle the key term in your assertion that you're going to elaborate on in your frame. What's the key phrase?
Elaborate on this, and then I should elaborate on this. So I did the opposite of
Read me you're circling terms from your frame. I want you to circle the key term or phrase in your assertion.
That I did or should have?
Read me your assertion.
Gun laws should not be stricter because gun laws do not prevent gun violence.
What's the phrase in here that's the key term? What's the
Gun violence?
I would say that it's do not prevent gun violence, right? I think that you're going to have to elaborate on why you think guns do not prevent gun violence. What's the point of a frame?
To elaborate on key terms in the session and to give more background information.
Great. And I want us to think about that triangle that we talked about earlier during the DMAT. So this is your assertion. The frame is helping you get closer and closer and closer to making your point. Okay, so we should be getting more specific with our argument, until we give evidence, and then we give explanation, and we get even more specific with our argument.
So, on the side of gun laws should not be stricter. Gun laws do not prevent gun violence because.
Exactly. Yep.
Gun laws do not prevent gun violence because people still kill others even when laws are in place to prevent that from happening.
Excellent. I just want you to be more specific with prevent that. Prevent what?
Killing.
Great. Great. So you're almost up to frame here, right? Or you've started to write. What are you going to keep in mind? I want you to go back and reread this frame and make sure it's as strong as this frame. What are you going to keep in mind when you're doing that?
To elaborate on key terms.
Great. Can you circle the key term in your assertion so I know that we're both on the same page? Exactly. Perfect. Excellent. show me your conference prep sheet. So that I should help you to prepare for the conference. Yep. So I want you to go ahead and start talking to me about the answers you have for the questions I wrote. Let's start with the first question.
Okay. It says, they should have stricter gun control laws because gun laws prevent deaths. My claim is they should have stricter gun control laws, and my reason is because gun laws will prevent deaths.
Great. So does your assertion meet our criteria for success?
Yes.
Great. You went back and you fixed this, right? What did you change about this to make it strong? Because I agree with you now, it does.
Because before I had a claim, but then I added a claim and a reason with the because.
Excellent. So this right here is not a period anymore, right? It's part of the same sentence. Excellent. Good for you. Okay, talk to me about your answer to the second question.
Okay. My context. I said an example of this is when many children and teens died due to guns, and there were different types of gun deaths. And then my evidence just proves that if we had stricter gun laws, then these number of children would many children wouldn't have died if we had stricter gun control laws. Because it would make my explanation.
No, I actually want you to read me your evidence because I want to be thinking, like, what background information would I want to know in order to be able to understand your piece of evidence, right? I want us to focus on the context sentence. So read me your evidence.
2/3 were victim of homicide, 3,892. 1/4 was suicide, 1,548, and 5% accidental or unknown, 300 gun deaths.
Okay. What do you think the reader's going to need to know to be able to understand all of those facts you just gave?
I think the reader needs to know that if we had a stricter, like, to make it harder for criminals to have easy access
This is all part of your explanation. This is all how your evidence is going to prove your assertion. But what kind of background information would the reader need to know what kind of questions do you think the reader would have about the numbers, the statistics that you have in your evidence? I could tell you one thing I'm wondering. I'm wondering, like, where are these statistics coming from, these numbers? Like, according to who? I'm wondering where. Like, are these the statistics for gun deaths in the United States?
No, say that.
Are these the world?
You don't say that.
It doesn't. Let's look into your packet. Let's look at your evidence journal. Oh, it doesn't say where those people live?
United States?
Uh-huh.
So what are we supposed to do with that?
So interesting. So this is telling me that it happened in the United States.
Why do you need to know that?
Well, you're arguing that the United States should have stricter gun control laws, right? Mm-hmm. So then I care that these numbers that you're talking to me about happened in the United States, right?
Where am I supposed to put all that? Like where it is and all that.
That's what a context sentence does, right? It tells me the who, what, where, and when. I want to know, like, what was going on.
Too much. Let's see.
What did we say about context earlier today during the do now though? Freeze. If it's too much, if it feels like we have too much in our context, what can we do?
And another sentence.
Break it into 2 sentences. You are queen of trying to cram everything into one sentence, right? And so sometimes we end up with run-on sentences. So today, as you go back and you
make it 2 sentences if it's a run-on sentence.
And how are you going to make your context stronger?
What, where, and when.
Great. So give me an example of what you might say for this piece of context. Go back and read this whole entire piece of evidence and take a second to think about it and then tell me. Okay?
In the years of 2008 and 2009, the United States,
The United States what?
the United States had many children and teens die due to guns, and there were different types of gun deaths.
I'm looking at this quote, and this quote is saying, this is giving me statistics about all of the gun deaths that are happening. That's after the U.S. decided to ban or stop assault weapons. They said, we're going to end assault weapons. I'm sorry, they said they're ending their ban. So they decided to say, we're going to allow assault weapons. Right? They ended their ban. This is so important. They ended their ban. They decided to say that guns could be used. And as a result, all of these deaths are happening.
Can I get another draft record?
You can get some scrap paper, yeah. Why is that so important for you to tell me in the context? It's going to make your evidence so much stronger. But why is it so
But don't
important?
prove my thesis.
Why doesn't it?
Because it's saying after you ban this, so it don't matter.
But they're saying they ended the ban. They didn't start a ban. They ended the ban. So they say...
It do prove it.
Exactly. Why does it prove your thesis? Why is that going to be true?
Because it's saying that, my thesis saying, my thesis says, we need stricter gun control laws. So if we have stricter gun controls and make it more harder for criminals to get access to guns, then all of these deaths wouldn't happen.
Because look what happened when we made our laws less strict. All of these deaths happened. So it's going to be really important that you add this into your context to help me understand that piece of evidence that you're giving me.
So
those numbers don't mean anything to me unless you give me background info.
Cross out that context and put, when the United States ended its ban on assault weapons in 2008 and 2009, murder rates still increased.
And it might change your explanation sentence a little bit too.
Let's read that. I said, the fact that so many children and teens die because of a gun shows that we should have stricter gun control laws, because if we had a law to make it harder for criminals to have access to a gun, then we could have prevented most of these deaths.
Okay, but I want you to make it, I want your explanation to be specific to this piece of evidence.
Of the ban.
So the fact that what?
The United States banned guns.
They ended their ban.
Ended the ban. The fact that the United States ended the ban and so many deaths still happen shows that we should have stricter gun control laws, because if we had stricter gun control laws, then we could have prevented most of the children deaths.
Got it? So then as you go to create your context, you know the revisions you're going to make in this paragraph, but moving forward, when you think about writing your context for the rest of today, what do you need to do? What are the steps you're going to take? And what are you going to be thinking?
Make sure my context really Give the background information that the reader needs to know to understand the explanation and the evidence.
And how are you going to make sure you do that?
Tell them when, where, and be specific about that. Not giving evidence, but be specific about the evidence, like a general
Great.
statement.
So you're going to use your evidence journal to go back and read the whole quote to then figure out what the reader needs to understand about your specific part of the quote. Okay? Awesome. Go back to your seat.
I will take back from there.
Yeah, take out your glasses. Okay, great. So, did you have a chance to prepare for the conference? Did you follow the steps? Great, okay. So why don't you talk to me about your answers to these questions? You said it wasn't elaborating on the key terms. Okay, great. Can you show me your frame? First, can you circle the key terms for me in the assertion? I think we're missing a word here too. I think you're missing the word law. Great, so circle the key terms, the key phrase. Read me your assertion.
The U.S. is going to because was created.
Oh, sorry. You didn't want to say gun laws. Did you answer the question in your thesis, in your assertion? Oh. You need to answer the question in your assertion. So how can you answer the question in your assertion? Because what? Because gun laws what?
Gun laws do not prevent gun violence.
Gun laws don't prevent gun violence?
They do.
Oh. So what are you going to say? Tell me one more time.
The U.S. have stricter gun control laws because gun laws prevent gun violence.
Great. So now, what's the key terms, what's the key phrase in your assertion that you're going to elaborate on your frame? I want you to be thinking about a phrase, not one word, but a phrase. Exactly. Okay, so your frame should elaborate on these. It should elaborate on the fact that gun laws prevent gun violence. Okay, read me your frame.
Do you think we should have stricter gun control?
Freeze for a second. Who is they? Oh, then you should tell me that.
So other people think.
In general, I never want to see a vague pronoun in your frame. It should always be specific, but I think we're going to end up having to revise this anyway, so let's focus on revising the frame first. Mm-hmm.
They think we should have strict gun controls because they want to protect themselves, but they're wrong. People should have strict gun controls because they would have less violence.
Okay, freeze. Does this elaborate on the key term?
No.
Okay, so let's cross it off. Let's cross it off. Yeah. How can you elaborate on the key term? I want you to say your frame out loud before you write it. Because what?
People with kids and the people who get hurt.
Why though?
Because
I want you to just use your police brain and stop looking at your paper for a second. Well, you are sure that we should have stricter laws because you think that would prevent violence. Why? Why would having a law prevent violence?
because sending messages when people get killed and other countries and stuff.
So what would laws do?
People was like decrease the people that's getting hurt.
But why? How?
Because if it's less guns, less people are getting.
But how are the laws gonna cause less deaths?
Because if people don't have guns.
Oh. That's what you need to tell me, Henry. Okay? I want you to go back and I want you to rewrite your frame. And then I'm noticing that it looks like there is no context. And you need context to set up this piece of evidence. So when you go back and you write your frame, what are you focused on as you're writing your frame?
11. She said.
Great. And then what are you going to do after that?
Put in context.
Great. Where's your reference sheet? Okay. Did you come prepared for the conference? Great. So can you talk to me about the answers to the question that I had put on your sheet? You didn't get a little half sheet of paper? No? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had a little half sheet of paper. All right, you're good. Go back to